Hey guys, hope you're all well. Back on the GS today. I was messing about with it a bit yesterday, just messing with the footrest, trying to get some ideas in my head. I think I'm about there, but what I'm going to do today is drop onto the seat pan. So the idea is obviously to try and keep it low, because although I don't mind, you know, a lot of these bikes come where they just use a seat with no tail unit or anything like that. It's all right, but I prefer to see a little bit of a tail unit. Dog's barking. We'll get on with it. So I like that sort of low seat look, but I want it with the tail unit, hence why I've done that, and hence why I've done it really low. So I'm going to do the seat pan, and when it's covered, try and keep it all in line with the tail unit that's been made. Obviously we've got the option at this point to add a bit of length to that. It, you know, it doesn't have to come right up to the hoop. It's only sticking, so I'm taking it off wonky. So if I need to lengthen it a bit at this stage, it doesn't matter. I'd like to try and keep it as short as possible, because I reckon they look good quite short. So yeah, I think we'll start getting some templates together and then start the metal work. So I'm going to start with this shape and work from the back forward, and then obviously send it up the tank a tiny bit. And when the seat pan's all shaped up, what I'll do then, yeah, let's have a look. Let me show you. Well, the dogs are going mad outside. I don't know if you can hear them. So yeah, we're going to continue with this shape. It'll drop down, come along, then come back up the tank slightly. You can see marks there from where the original seat was when it was on the GSX 1400. And obviously the seat panel will sort of end here for it to return up the tank. And because we've got this horrible big gap here, I shall make a nice little infill panel there. So let's try and get that done today. Well, at least the seat pan anyway. It'd be nice if we do get the little panel done. And then with that little panel, it'll be a little separate piece, separate from the tank and the seat. We'll do some sort of fixing points here off the frame where it just goes on and bolts up from up the back. So all you see is that panel. And for this face, it'll have a little bit of return on there. And it should start looking the part, really. Anyway, let's start planning it and cutting some metal up. Right, what we'll do first is draw around this so we can cut the main panel out. So that basically will go up against there. And then I'm going to cut a strip and weld a return lip onto this so it comes so far back on here. But we'll have to obviously do that so it leaves a gap so the seat covering will lip round and go under it. We've also got to obviously not have a sharp edge, so we'll figure that out. Right, we'll cut this out first. Right, I've done a bit of cutting and a bit of forming on a strip for the return. So that's basically the start of the seat pan. So that'll end up going across there, but not fixed to this, it'll be all separate. And then I'll have to, when that returns on there, I'll have to cut some pieces out so it drops over the frame, both sides, like so. I'm now going to weld this to there. And as you can see, if you can see, it's got a gap all the way round and that will allow for the seat material to wrap round and bond on the inside. Depending on how tidy that works out, it may just, because the guy who does the seats is pretty good, but if it's a bit untidy, I'll then make another shield on this, like a lip, that hides it anyway. So yeah, I'm going to weld this to this, and then we can trim it all off and then start the main base for the seat. Right, I'm going to trim that. No, I'm going to weld it first, then trim it off. Right, that's that little panel done. We've got the return on. We're just roughing everything out at the moment. I've just sort of scribbled somewhere where we've got to cut the plate out, and then that'll drop over the frame. And it should just sit above that then. So like I say, we've got a gap for the material of the seat to hook under, and it'll bond it all in. So we'll cut these out now, and then we'll do the rest of the seat pan. Right, that's that laid out, so that'll now be sort of there. What we got to do now is cut a seat pan that follows this shape. That'll come up to about there, and then we'll put some sides in it. So basically the seat covering then will obviously hide all this, you won't see none of this. And we'll bring it down, up the tank, and then make a little panel down there. Then obviously we'll do all the appropriate brackets underneath, and we'll put little rubber feet on the seat, so nothing's metal to metal. There we go. And we could probably hide a few things in there electrical wise, make some brackets and stuff. Right, we'll cut a seat pan out now. Right, I've done the basic cardboard template. Start getting the basic shapes and ideas. So it might not look much at the minute, but it's slowly coming together. It's just giving me the basic shape to work off, because there's one thing that I don't like is seats that don't match up to tanks. You have big gaps everywhere, so we're slowly going to figure it out so the seat pan fits everything nice. I'll say I've left quite a lot extra on to trim down as I build the front up round the tank. So I'm going to cut this out in metal first. That flat won't be on it, obviously. That'll be just cut out like so. Then we'll decide on the rest as we go along. As you can see, I've got the that template marked out on the material. So I'm going to cut this out now. And then this area here is where we'll add some shaping, slightly thinner material, so it's easier to form, so it does follow the tank. Let's get in there. We've got that cut out, as you can see. So you know we've done the back bit. So let's just have a look, see how it's all starting to slot together. This is obviously the start of the base, which will eventually have sides on that will follow this. Then it will be connected to the back bit there, so this will be welded, and we'll probably do some strengtheners underneath as well. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can see. Can you see? Let's have a look. So yeah, it's cut round the tank mounts. We'll then build sort of a body up round these, because you're not going to see all this. That obviously this will be all the internal parts of the seat, and then the sponge and everything will go over that. So we'll build something up that will probably come to where the original seat went. As you can see, we can see the marks here. And then we'll put some sides on it that continue from these here all the way down. And then I'm going to decide where I'm going to terminate it all, where it looks best. And then obviously here we'll make a little panel that fits nicely against the tank and the seat and the side pieces, so it all looks finished and sort of a good custom fit. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. It's getting there. I've still got to put the gusset on the other side. I've got that sort of over there. I'll trim that up and put that on very soon. And that sort of leaves all the sides open. We can see the nice posh shock it's got on. Yeah, the tail unit's coming together. Whoops, sorry about that. I've got the microphone lead stuck in front of the camera. There we go. Right, let's figure the next step out. Right, I've got these sides trimmed up, and we just put a very slight bend in them to follow the shape. So I'm just going to tack these on, then obviously trim the ends off, and then we're going to try it back on the bike. Ooh, someone sent me some new glasses. I don't know who it was. Brilliant. Really appreciate it, whoever you were. I couldn't see nothing on the envelope or anything like that, but yeah. So I haven't got me tape round them no more. Thank you very much, whoever that was. Do it. Right, let's tack this up. Oh, that's all right. Okay. So that all clears. I might just have to put a bit of shape there where this frame tube comes up. That's not a problem. We've got enough clearance all around the back here. Yeah, I might have to just shape that a tiny bit, just to give me a bit of movement. I think I'm happy enough to weld all that up, which I'll do carefully because it will obviously try and go like a banana. So these end bits here, let me see if you'll be in camera shot. Yeah. So these end bits here will probably end up getting trimmed off, but I've done them long so it gives me a bit of material to play around with. This here, then I'm going to work out a way here to obviously bring the shape up the tank. So obviously when the seat's covered you're not going to see any of this. All you'll see is the end shape. However I decide to go up here and up the tank, that's the shape you're going to see. So you sort of got to ignore all this that's going on at the moment, and when I've decided on the shape here, we'll make this little side panel that's going to fill that void to match right up against whatever shape we do cut in there. But I think that's all going to work nicely. I've got plenty of gap under here. Obviously the material that the seat's covered in will lip round and go under there, and if that still leaves a bit of a gap when the material's on, I will then make a secondary piece on the tail unit that sort of butts up against that, if you know what I mean. Then it will give it a better finish. So it'll be just a strip, whether it be a little bit of round or square or whatever, and it'll hide that join there. Because folding the material around there will be a few little creases, I would thought. So we'll hide it with an extra piece on here, so it all sort of butts up together. Yeah, that's going to be alright. I think that's going to look fine with a little panel here. Like I say, I will do it so it fits to the frame. So the panel, it's sort of standalone, but it'll all look fitted, if you know what I mean. The seat will look like it is for the bike and not just, you know, a one off the shelf, an aftermarket one that you sort of try and make do. This will actually look like it is for the bike. And here's Blue. Hello, Blue. You coming in? You coming in, or you're gonna play? Come on, mate. You being silly, eh? You being silly? That's a reflection. Where's that coming from? He's chasing reflections. Oh, I know where that's from. It's off this, I think. Yeah, what's this? There it is. You'll never catch it. You'll never catch it. It's behind you. It's behind you. God, that'll do then. Daft dog. You daft dog. He's silly. Right. I think that'll do for today. Yeah, I think that'll do. That's took quite a while actually. It's quite a lot of thinking time just to get it right. I think when we've done this little bit and decided where we're going to terminate this sort of spur here and got the panel, you know, you got how the back end is and this panel dropping in, I think that's going to look all right. I only wanted a fairly slim seat on it anyway, you know, we're not building it to go touring on, but it will look all right. It should do anyway. But yeah, I think that'll do. I'm quite happy with that. I think it's going in the right direction. I've still got to do the gusset on that side of the frame, which I think I'll do next before I weld these up. And this is a little job. I've been back to my usual tricks of getting up really early in the morning again. So that being quiet, welding all that up, I'll probably do that really early one morning in the week. And that'll bring it along nicely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to sorting out all this up here actually with the little panel. I'll say it will just follow the tank nicely, drop down, it'll sort of return into the frame there, so it'll all look sort of full, it'll look solid, if you know what I mean. But yeah, and I'm getting my head around the footrest. That's definitely on the list for next, I reckon. After that, we've got to do the fuel tank. I've got to order a battery, so we're going to make a compartment on the top of the frame under there. I'm going to get the smallest battery possible that will crank the bike over, so that'll all be hidden under there. We can get a few little tiny bits of electrics in here. The electrics are going to be vastly reduced with that M unit anyway. We ain't going to have like the bulk of the harness that was on the bike originally. So yeah, we should be able to hide everything easily. And then the back lights. I'm still messing about with ideas with them. That's going to sort of fit all right with that little tail unit there. But I'll get there on that. So, hello mate, come on. There's not a huge amount to do on it really now, not massive amount. A lot of the big hard work jobs are done, like the swing arm, all the bracing on that. Obviously there's a bit of welding to do on the exhaust pipe still, and then there'll be a case of blocking all the holes off where all the old footrests went. So it'd be just a combination of a load of small jobs. I know that can be quite time consuming, but I'm glad the bigger jobs are coming to an end on the bike. Yeah, and then it'd be stripped down and painting and powder coating and polishing. Sorted. Anyway, it's pressing on a bit. The sun's going down now. It's been a beautiful weekend here with the sun shining. And hopefully we'll be all out riding soon. Anyway, cheers for watching guys, and take care everybody.